proud of my team's defensive effort. I thought that we did a fairly decent job against the number 3 team in the country. I thought that obviously if we could have made more shots, that would have been a much better effort for us on our part. But I thought we competed hard, out rebounding Duke and holding them to 64 points. It's just a matter of us being able to make plays on the offensive end. And give credit to Duke's defense. They do a tremendous job in their matchup zones. They're 3-2 and they're 2-3, just forcing you to take outside perimeter shots. And one of the things for us, if we could have kept Nariah Taylor in the game longer, I think one of the things we talked about all week long against Duke, you have to get paint touches against that zone. And if you can get the ball inside the paint, you got a chance to score. And I thought that Nariah did a really good job working hard in there and sealing off Elizabeth Williams and getting some good looks.
Not many teams out-rebound Duke, and you guys did a great job on the board. I mean, you look at Ty with 16 rebounds, but I guess the story of the game was the missed chances in the paint, which could have really made it a different game.
Yeah, missed a lot of layups and 6 free throws, and you got to make layups and free throws when you're playing a team like Duke. You can't, every little point matters in those situations. And like I said, give Ty credit. I thought she did a great job getting in there and getting 16 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds. Not a lot of people do that against a team like Duke with their size. But I thought that Duke did a great job of making us take tough shots defended, with a hand in our face. And I thought that was the difference in the game. We just didn't get a lot of wide open looks, but we did miss a lot of layups and second chance opportunities.
What is it about Elizabeth Williams that makes it difficult to defend her?
Well, she's just so agile and mobile for her size. I mean, and she's got great touch around the rim. And you saw her effort today on the boards. I mean, she just works extremely hard on both ends of the floor. There's no doubt she's an elite player in this league, probably the best post player in the ACC. It's one of those things where, she's surrounded too by other great players. So it's hard to key on her because, she's got such a great shooter in Tricia Liston and a great point guard who finds her and gets her easy baskets. Well, I think one of the things was we moved Ty to the point and went with bigger wings, and so we had a better looks, and I thought that Nariah came on when Ty was getting some help on the offensive end, so it wasn't just Ty scoring. We had 2 people scoring for the first time all night, and I thought that made a big difference. I felt like with Katarina in there, if she could have knocked down some of those open threes she had when she, learns to hit those shots and starts connecting in those in games, not just in practice, I think that's going to help us. By the end of the year, I think you're going to see a much better team. If we have an opportunity to play Duke again, I think you'll see a much more improved offensive team with our 8 freshmen and sophomores out of our 13 players. I think, that's their first time, most of my team is the first time them ever facing Duke. So I think, as the season goes on and we continue to grow and get better and we learn to make those shots and understand how people are going to play us, then we'll get better, and our defense is right where it needs to be, our rebounding's right where it needs to be. We just need to make more shots.
Ty, at that 6-point mark, you had a 3-point play, and then Katarina hit the shot there. What were you guys thinking there at that 6-point when you got down that?
I think it was just a great momentum changer. I mean, everybody was coming in and playing for each other and selflessness on the offensive end, and we were just working together. And I feel like when I hit the and one and Kat hit the shot, it was just a great momentum changer, and we were just together at that moment, trying to come back.
Coach, you talked about Katarina. It seems like she has good court sense out there. It's just a matter of her catching up with the speed of the American college game.
Well, she plays at the speed. It's just a matter of her getting her confidence. I mean, in Serbia, she wasn't known as a scorer. She was known as a passer, believe it or not. I mean, she has tremendous touch with the ball. But it's just a matter of her understanding her roles, that we want her to take shots, and she's making that transition. And, right now she's catching the ball thinking pass, and she needs to be catching the ball thinking shoot. And that's one of the things we've been working on. I think her sitting out for that month with that injury really, it delayed her growth and development. So now she's just now getting back in the flow of things and understanding her role.
Katarina hit you with for the 3-point play. She hit a really nice number of passes. What's she like as a passer, and how many fun to play with some passes like that?
Kat's a great passer. I mean, I just love playing with her. She's very unselfish. I mean, of course, we wanted to take shots, but we had a couple games, we had a couple passes where I slice off of her and she hits me for, and 1 or a 2-point play. So it's just great playing with her, and she's just a great energy player. I mean, as soon as she makes the pass or somebody scores, she just smiles, and it gives you such a boost.
Ty, how tough is it when the shots aren't dropping to overcome that frustration and it seemed like you continued to play hard, and that was the difference out there.
It's tough, but I've learned, over the years that even when shots aren't falling, in order to, help my team being a leader on the court, you have to keep taking shots. And just trying to get your team going. So, that's what I learned over the years. Obviously it is tough. It gets in your head, but it's something you can't think about. You just got to think about the next play.
Coach, I imagine going into the game, if someone would have told you what the shooting stats were for your two best players, you probably wouldn't have believed it.
No, I definitely wouldn't have believed that. We've come to rely on Kayla, and sometimes we forget she's just a freshman because she does such a tremendous job for us. She's been so consistent, and, I think that, as we go through this ACC season for the first time with her, I think we just have to understand that she is a freshman and she's going to have those nights. But I've been really pleased with, she'll bounce back. There's no doubt in my mind. We've got, at Clemson on Thursday or Wednesday, and, we're just going to come back tomorrow and get better and go back after Clemson, and that's what we do. This is the fourth team in the top 15 we played all year, first one at home. We don't have a bad loss on our schedule. We just got to keep getting better, and that's, it's a tough, long ACC season, and now Duke's behind us, and hopefully we'll face them again in the ACC tournament. But if we don't, the next game's Clemson, and that's what we got to focus on.
Tyler, you've been through freshman up and downs. Do you talk to Kayla after a game like this? And if you do, what do you say to her about her, and just let her kind of move on?
Yeah, I've been through the struggles. Yeah, of course I talk to her all the time. She's somebody I definitely try to pull through, whenever, she feels like she's getting down, or just trying to keep her going. So, definitely come back to practice tomorrow and just tell her I keep hitting her on screens or on shots and tell her just to knock it down to get your confidence back. It's something we're not worried about and she's not worried about. We just got to keep her rolling.
From what you've seen from Kayla, what kind of kid is she bouncing back from a game like this?
She's very mentally tough. The kid is, she goes about her job like a professional. She comes to work and she does her job and she goes home and comes back the next day, and she doesn't let a lot rattle her. You can't tell by watching her if she's, looking at the stats, 2 for 14, I wouldn't have guessed that just by the way she handles herself on the floor. You don't see her hang her head. She doesn't pass up an open shot. She just keeps playing and keeps trying to attack and make plays. And that's what you want a scorer to do, and that's what you want a great player to do. And, I'm very pleased with how she's handled herself and responded, night after night. If she has a great game or she has an average game, she comes back the next day and goes to work and does her job. And that's what very little fluctuation from her, which is very impressive for a freshman.
You look at the rebounding, and naturally you see the 16 by Ty, but if you look at the stats, you got help up and down the lineup on the boards today, which is a good thing for a team, I guess.
That's a great thing for us. To get 51 rebounds against Duke, and that's a lot of hustle points. And, we played hard, but we missed a lot of shots. So, there are a lot of rebounds to get. One of the things we've got to do is we got to come back and be able to knock down those shots the next time that we get them. And, we know Kayla and Sid and Aaliyah are capable, and Kat, they just got to make those plays. And we're talking about freshmen and sophomores there, so we just got to get them to step up and knock down those shots.